Remember in school when you had to listen and study courses you weren't really into? The sound of the English language flowing in one ear and seamlessly out the other. Or Spanish if you're taking Spanish class. Knowing you have an essay due months from now, but still decide to start and finish it the night before. Or drinking gallons of coffee only to fall asleep midway through a 3-hour lecture. Is it laziness, procrastination, or lack of sleep? Yeah, I guess it is, but there's a deeply rooted issue that's causing all of this. Interest. No, not financial interest, but what Cambridge Dictionary states as the feeling of wanting to give your attention to something. And this is directly correlated to the title of the video. An underrated skill in business, learning, relationships, and life. The feeling of wanting to give your attention to something. Now attention. How does one pay attention? By listening. By shutting the a concept so simple, but a dying ability in this gratification-filled society fueled by this capitalistic machine we know as America. What is it about listening that makes it so difficult? Here are 3 factors to why you may be having trouble listening or paying attention. Number 1, dopamine. You know the chemicals that get released in your brain that make you feel good? Those are actually natural and really healthy for you. But nowadays, we're overstimulated. From video games to the endless loop of social media scrolling, we're instantly gratified not from our actions, but from the dopamine itself. It's like as if we're more interested in the chemical itself than the actual action, which is kind of crazy. Number 2, cliches. Don't judge a book by its cover. Better late than never. Saved by the bell. It may sound like a prophet to others who've never heard these phrases before, but cliches are unoriginal and lack any attention at all. How many times have you defaulted to, it is what it is? Or think outside the box, which is kind of funny because you're not really thinking outside the box when you say, yeah, think outside the box. The idea is that cliches betrays the lack of any original thought. The opportunity to say something of authenticity, only to result in mindless phrases ingrained in us from our environment over time. And number 3, control. This is really what it's all about, but it's obviously hard to implement. But being aware that the one that decides to pick up the phone, or to play one more game, or to actually stop speaking and actually listen in your conversation is you. You have the power. Attention is energy, and harnessing that starts with listening. Listening to others, and obviously listening to yourself. Now the question is how? How do you listen? How about you start with putting these external devices down and stare into their eyes. Or if you're talking to yourself, into your soul. Stare and analyze. Actively stare and analyze. I've actually made a comprehensive video on this right over here, so go ahead and watch that and subscribe before you go.